Welcome to the Quick Stop F1 podcast. My name is Mario, and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate it. If you're joining us from YouTube, make sure to like this video. Make sure to comment. Make sure that you're subscribed to the Quick Stop F1 channel. If you're joining us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you leave those 5 stars and a review. Those help a lot. I typically introduce my co-host with words of my own, but this time I'm going to quote the great Will I Am. This is what he had to say about Tasha. It's really annoying. And she's the kind of cat, if she comes on stage with you, she's probably going to out-vocal you. If you introduce her to your significant other, they're going to think she's hot. If you're in the car, she's going to outrace you. You feel what I'm saying? Not fair. Like, come on. Suck at something. Once again, those are Will I Am's words on my amazing, talented, cozy co-host, Tasha.
Hi. You're a fool.
I know you told me the story of how you met Will I Am that one time, but you told me it was 30 minutes. To have him say so much about you in 30 minutes is honestly very impressive.
I just feel like whenever you're in a room with somebody, you only have a short amount of time to make an impact. So it's just really important to just be yourself, be authentic, Because you never know who's going to have kind words for you in the future. So I'm glad that you
left a great impression. Yeah. Like, I'm not surprised, but like amazing words.
I only need one impression. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't miss. So yeah. Thank you, Will I Am.
And that's why I am so lucky to have you as my co-host.
You're welcome. I'm just kidding.
How are you? How have you been?
I'm great. I am currently in a winter wonderland. It snowed here yesterday. So I feel like I'm the only adult person who loves snow. And I don't know if it's because I work from home, so I never have to leave and actually be out in it. But It's such a vibe. It's such a vibe. So yeah, we got some snow yesterday. Everything's covered in a beautiful sparkling blanket of crisp fallen snow. It's beautiful. So I'm in a good mood.
That sounds nice.
That's all it takes.
Actually, it's pretty cold today and yesterday here in Orlando, but no snow. I think I'd be more worried than anything else if I see snow here.
I did see that it was supposed to get kind of cold there, but no snow. Thankfully. Yeah.
Kind of. I would say it's pretty cold for Orlando standards. You know who wasn't cold at all? In fact, hot as heck. Lewis Hamilton.
Right.
I saw the timeline was fed.
Yes.
Any thoughts and opinions of the most recent Lewis spotting?
No notes. I mean, honestly, this is what I love about Lewis is that last time we saw him, he was jumping out of an airplane. He was in his little t-shirt, shorts combination. And then he just disappears for a few weeks and then pops up in Paris for Dior fashion show looking like hot chocolate, delicious. I mean, I'm sorry. The man is just stunning. So yeah, no notes for me. I love the outfit. I love the sweater under the brown suit that he had. Great color combination.
That's why I'm wearing brown today.
It's so good. Oh, me too. I didn't, a tan beige situation, but yeah, I love an earth tone. Capricorns and earth tones, just works for us.
This is a Capricorn operated podcast.
Absolutely.
We did have a Lewis pit stop in Brazil.
Yeah. Yes, we did. But
so
we weren't supposed to see him. You know what I mean? We weren't supposed to know. Yeah. He was minding his business.
That's actually a great point. A great point. Damn, did you just make that? Wow, that's a great point.
Yeah. Respect his privacy.
Yeah.
Not really.
That was, those were kind of paparazzi pictures.
Yeah.
So you like the fit?
Yeah, I loved it.
The Dior fit? It was Dior, right?
Yes, Dior. Kim Jones for Dior, yeah.
Dior kind of pops off.
Yeah.
Dior. Yeah.
I love the menswear for Dior. I mean, I feel like they just do an amazing job every season, but it just gets better and better. I love the silhouettes. I just love the playful, like not playfulness, but kind of like the exaggerated proportions, especially on somebody like Lewis, who was very like fit, but he's like very, you know, small, petite, you know? So I love that it kind of like gives him more stature, if you know, so to speak. Yeah, just kind of like gives him a good like silhouette and a good vibe. So I don't know. I like it. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked Lewis's fit. Like I liked it a lot. But like it's like he doesn't miss.
No,
almost.
He could wear a potato sack, basically. I did love...
And add some cleavage to it and y'all be like, oh.
That was the accessory. That's what I'm saying. I was like, that's what I love. I was like, whoa, he was giving us cleavage. He didn't have any necklaces on, which I was like, he looks naked a little bit, you know, like what's missing? And yeah, it was the jewelry stack. So he only had like earrings but it was just cleavage. And I was just like, I appreciate this. Like he's like, this is the focal point. This is the moment, you know? And he did that for us. It's cold in Paris. You know what I'm saying? Like a man with his whole chest out, no scarf. He did that for us. That's the sacrifice he made for the girls. So I appreciate that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm sure that's exactly why he did it.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your service, Sir Lewis.
Where do you think we're going to spot him next?
Great question. I don't know. I really don't know. I have no clue. Like, I mean, hopefully the gym. I'm missing the gym selfies. I'm not gonna lie.
Jesus,
we need
if I'm here saying I miss some ladies' gym selfies, it's like Mario. That's messed up, bro.
It's for
Mario,
inspirational purposes, Mario. Like, what do you mean? Like, it's just to get everybody motivated.
Because it's all about the captions.
All about
him.
The captions, yeah.
All about because if I were to take 100 of you, fantastic, magnificent people that are, you know, day 0, he puts up that thirst trap and y'all are drinking it up. I put 100 of you together, and I ask you, do you recognize this picture? All of you would be like, is this the dumbest quiz I've ever taken? And then I ask you, what was the caption? And then only 5 of you know the caption?
Right.
Yeah, but it's all about the caption with him. All about it. I can name names. I won't. But I can. But I won't. I would never. But I can.
I'm just saying, it's for the motivation.
Captions.
It's for the plot. You know what I mean? Like we need the...
for the plot.
It's for the plot.
Okay.
That's season's coming. I need to know, you know, I want to make sure he's running his 6 miles or whatever he does every day. Like, you know, hitting the gym. It's for the plot.
There you know, everybody. If you are thirsting and you want to look at thirst traps, just say it's for inspiration and nothing else.
Exactly. It's all how you market it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Thirst traps out, motivational posts in. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
is it out and in or is it mixed? Because it sounds like
out.
Mixed.
Thirst traps are out.
But thirst traps with a caption that nobody remembers are
thirst traps with a message are in.
That nobody reads are in?
We absorb them through osmosis.
She's in osmosis.
It's a vibe, you know? Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton cannot lose.
Absolutely not. We are never beating the cult allegations.
It's honestly amazing. It's just one of the many reasons why. It's one of the many reasons. Oh my God. I wanted to point out I wanted to ask you a question, but I wanted to point out, you see the video with Carlos Sainz Jr. flying out to Dakar because his dad won the rally?
I did.
That was cool. That was cool to watch.
It was.
But also must be nice having a jet.
Well, that's what I loved. He was like, yeah, I need to get like a last minute flight. And then it pans over and it's this PJ. And I'm like, wow, that's nice. What a nice feeling that you can show up on the other part of the world at your convenience for your dad. But it was a cool moment to see him like at the finish line. His dad looked really happy and surprised to see him. It was cute. It was a moment. It was worth the carbon emissions, I'm sure.
what is a place or a moment that you would like to show up in, and you would use your jet for it?
In a PJ. Oh, I don't
In
know.
a PJ.
I don't know. I
Paris
don't
Fashion
feel
Week?
like I would be very responsible with a private jet at my disposal.
Responsible?
I don't think I would be responsible. I think I would be like Lando Norris and just be like, she's flying here. She's in New Jersey. Why is she in New Jersey? She's going to Canada. She's going to Paris. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, just flying. And I need to go to Whole Foods.
She's
like,
going to Monaco. She's going back to New Jersey?
Back to Jersey. Like, we need to, yeah. So she's going to Wegmans. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just would, any excuse.
Yeah.
I'm flying to California. I want to get like some Napa Valley like wine. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I would just be irresponsible.
I think I would. I think I would as well.
Yeah.
And you're brave for admitting that, you know? Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, just be honest. Just be honest.
Exactly.
I appreciate people who are honest with them. I can't control anything that I do. You know what I'm saying? So PJ access would just, yeah, it wouldn't be good. It would be good for me, but not the planet. Yeah.
I like to think I am very disciplined. And I am, but we all need to be humbled.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're feeling yourself too much. I'm humbled by ice cream because I am so disciplined at so many things. But if I buy ice cream, I am a child.
Same.
I am a
it's
child.
A wrap. Yeah.
Like I am a child.
Yeah.
Like why am I eating it in like 2 days? It's like, so I just can't buy it.
Yeah.
Because and that's who humbles me is ice cream because I'm like, clearly you're not that disciplined because ice cream still gets you. Like
ice cream gets me too.
I hate it, but I love it.
It's delicious.
Anything else interesting happened this week that you want to mention?
Oh, wow. That's such a loaded question, I feel like.
I know, right?
Because like, what did happen? Right. I'm like, are we going to talk about the interesting stuff later? I don't know. I was laughing though. I was like kind of cackling. I think we were talking about this like a while ago at Charles Leclerc's vlog, his latest vlog, where he was shooting free throws. Very violent and aggressively.
Very violent. Yes, that is a very good description of how he was shooting free throws.
And he was doing something weird with his wrist where I just couldn't quite understand like how the mechanics were supposed to work to get the ball out of his arm. And I guess that's why he wasn't making any. But I loved it. Charles Leclerc is like, I have a soft spot for him. Do you know what I mean? Because nothing truly is behind those beautiful eyes of his. And he's great at his job, but like when he's off duty, he is off duty. Like no thoughts, just vibes, just being beautiful, just being rich, just being like Charles Leclerc. So yeah, I love that for him. He was in the snow yesterday eating ice cream.
I was about to say. Like dope pictures.
Great pictures. Will he have pneumonia? Let's wait and find out. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean I can't have? What do you mean I can't have ice cream? Charles pneumonia anemone?
Imagine the amount of like brain freeze he got from like the wind chill plus the ice cream. Like
I have to interrupt you because you're so wrong.
No,
you don't get brain freeze when there's nothing.
Right.
Flow. It's emptiness.
Lack
so there's
of
no
organ. Yeah, you're right.
There's no brain freeze.
Just a cool breeze blowing through there. Yeah.
He is. I've read this a few times. He is the person that says, "Let's take a picture," or take a picture of me. He is the person that starts it within his group. And I read that for the first time and 2 more times since then. When there was a picture of him and his friends, which is fine. I'm not criticizing, but it was him and his friends. All his guy friends, and they were like in a circle, and the picture was top view. They were all laying down in a circle.
Oh, I think I saw that. Yeah. They were like on vacation, I think on a yacht or something on the beach. Yeah.
Yeah. And I read about that picture, and one of his friends was like, we're getting roasted and everything, but like Charles is the person who starts that. Charles is the person who says, let's take the picture that way.
Yeah.
So it's like, I love it. It just goes to say, like what you're saying is like, no, just vibes. Like
he's just vibing. Oh my
ice
God,
cream,
I love
snow.
it.
Let's take a picture.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah. Perfect sense.
We should all have this, we should all turn off the switch sometimes and just have ice cream in the snow.
Just enjoy your life,
Figuratively.
and deal with the repercussions later. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly right.
Like when he shows up sick in the first race, like we'll know why. Like pinpoint exactly why. Yeah.
There's so many pictures of everything he does. It won't be a difficult investigation. Yeah, we'll just like pull up his Instagram
quick to connect the dots. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. With that, we are back on during off season. Obviously, there's no race like we do during off races as well. But we're back with our "In Case You Missed It" segment, where we'll just go through some interesting news and rumors that we've seen during this week and recently in general. Typically, we do have a main topic to dig into, but today we are just, as always, running on good vibes and then a lot of not smaller, but a lot of shorter news than usual. But we brought plenty of them. Yeah. A lot of interesting things happen around F1 for better or worse.
Yeah.
So, Tasha,
usually the latter.
It's usually the latter, yes.
Usually the latter.
What did you bring for us this week?
So speaking of the worst, corruption, that's how we're going to kick this off. So this is an update to a story that we talked about back in the summer. This was to do with the Singapore GP. Both the transportation minister of Singapore and also business tycoon Ong Ben Sang were basically arrested on corruption charges. There has been an update. Elizabeth did an article for Jalopnik where she kind of ran through the most recent events, being that the transportation minister, S. Iswan, actually has retired. He basically resigned and in a statement to CNN said, "I resign as cabinet minister, member of parliament, and as a member of the People's Action Party because I believe it was the right thing to do." What I found kind of interesting about this, because there's more details about like what this actually involves. He was essentially gifted or bribed, I guess, by Ong Ben Sang, and essentially the gifts amounted to around like $120,000 and it included F1 Singapore GP tickets, business class flights, Broadway or West End tickets, like to go see plays and musicals. And what Elizabeth kind of touched on in the article was that Singapore tends to not have as much corruption in their country. There's like an index. There's like a corruption index that we rank countries by based off of the perception of like how much corruption that there is. So the US, for example, ranks 24th, which I found very surprising, considering I feel like we should probably be lower. The bar would be in hell for us, I feel like.
Does the US make the list?
We're 24th.
No. Does the US create the list?
Oh, I don't know. That's a great question. I have to find out who actually creates the list.
Because if the US creates a list, there was tampering.
Yeah, 24 feels kind of, like I think we should be lower.
Look, but in the US, we like to do things big. So if we're not top 10, don't talk to me about it.
Right, don't talk to us. You know? But in the top 10 is actually Singapore. So they're tied, I believe, at 5th with Sweden. So I found that was interesting. So they're really a country that does not do corruption. Their last scandal was like in 1986. And they pay their ministers really well.
The lower the number, the less corruption.
Right. So the closer to the top you are, the least corrupt that you are. We're 24.
That makes sense. You said Sweden. I was like, there's no way Sweden is corrupt. So I'm taking it the wrong way. Okay. I'm so sorry. Okay.
So part of that is that they pay their ministers really well, like something like $800,000 in like annually in their salary. So when you see that somebody's accepting $120,000 worth of bribes, not even just cash, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like little trinkets here and there. Like that just seems crazy to me to blow up your whole life and your career for something like that.
What did you risk it all for? An eighth of my salary?
Right? Like what? And now you're like shaming your country because again, they really haven't had anything like this since the 80s. Your family.
So you're saying he's a trailblazer.
Right. Yeah, he's breaking generational curses in Singapore. That's just crazy to me.
History books is what we're saying. You know?
So as of right now, the Singapore GP is expected to continue as planned in September 2024, but we still have another layer to this, which is Ong Ben saying he's, like I said, the sole, like basically owner of the Singapore GP. And I guess whatever happens with S. Irsawan about this case will determine what they do with him. So keep a pin in the story.
F1 has so many races that, and nothing against the Singapore GP in general at all, but like there's so many races right now. Dropping one wouldn't be the worst thing that could happen.
No, not at all. But yeah, Singapore's usually a pretty good race. So that's why I'm like, that does kind of suck that it's Singapore of all the races that this has happened.
It is.
But
it is a good race. It is a good race. So let's do an F1 Academy announcement summary of what we have right now. Right now, I'm just going to go through the drivers and the F1 team that they're connected with. Right now, the confirmed drivers are Tina Houseman with Aston Martin, Maya Woog, I apologize with any last name, for Ferrari, Abby Pulling for Alpine, Bianca Bustamante for McLaren, Leah Block for Williams, Carrie Schreiner with Stake /Sauber/Kick/ what else? Chloe Chambers with Haas, and newly announced Doriane Pin with Mercedes.
Yeah.
You had we were having some conversation about the F1 Academy before the show. And how are you feeling with the F1 Academy with regards to like how seriously are you taking it, or what do you need to see from the F1 Academy to feel like this is a good place or path for these women to be in?
Well, so my initial feeling toward F1 Academy, like when it first launched, I felt like it was just very like reactionary and almost like performative to the W Series, basically losing funding. I felt like, I guess, yes, to your point, like I need to kind of see where this goes. It's obviously I think it's going to be a great platform for these female drivers to be able to reach a wider, broader audience. Now that the races will actually be broadcast, it puts them in front of many more eyes, hopefully people who want to partner with them, or who have opportunities for them that they may not otherwise have been, had access to, resources also that they maybe would not have had access to. So I'm taking it really seriously because I do feel like this needs to be successful. I just don't want to see something that was thrown together and these women are taking, a chunk of their career time that they could be doing something else and putting it toward the F1 Academy and not really getting anything out of it. So I'm skeptical. I'm very happy for everybody. I will say, like, I'm very happy that this is happening. Susie Wolff being part of it, it clearly feels like it's going to be taken to a completely different level. But yeah, I'm just very like apprehensive. I hope that it really amounts to something for each of the girls, women that are driving in this series, because, there's not that many opportunities for them, and this needs to really stick, I think.
Yeah.
What about you?
We were talking about Jessica Hawkins before the show, and how she's somewhat in a consulting / mentor role for the F1 Academy program, specifically in Aston Martin. And like that's a really cool thing. And we talked about it during one of our shows. But my concern is that it's still a position that, although great, is still F1 Academy adjacent. Right. So I worry that like the F1 Academy becomes the place where female drivers and female in motorsports go, and not F1. Like I need to see, similar to what you said, I need to see that these women can go from the F1 Academy to act like, if not that the F1 Academy is not a good place to be, but like I'm sure that all of them would want to be in F1 eventually. So like I want to see that there is some sort of path from the F1 Academy to F1 to have more representation in the paddock. Yeah. Like I don't want to see like the F1 Academy just becoming like the bubble where we keep females in motorsport.
Right.
Not
Yeah,
females in motorsport, females in F1.
Right. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's kind of my thing too, is like, I mean, we talked before, which is like, I feel like a solution to this might be creating an all-female F1 team in the near future. You know, obviously I know it's not going to just be as simple as putting them in these Formula One cars, but you know, I feel like if you're not really going to take a step like that drastic or that dramatic, you know, what is the trajectory for them? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, obviously there's other racing series, there's other jobs that they can do. And, you know, I feel like with so many drivers, I know obviously everybody has aspirations to be the best that they can be, but I think there's also some level of like realism, you know, that they must have, you know, that it's like, you know, a lot of them are a little bit older or considered old for, you know, motorsport. They're women, you know, there's like lots of barriers in place. So I wonder if how many of them are just like, look, I'm just going to use this as a way to just get myself out there, whatever opportunities I can get to secure some kind of future for myself, you know, because it's such a cutthroat, you know, industry. Even if it was co-ed, again, you're just the numbers game, like the, you know, the probability that you're actually going to make it onto an F1 team or in an F1 seat or F2 or anything is just like so slim. So yeah, I just feel like there has to be some kind of like really concrete, dramatic thing that needs to happen to like kind of force this issue.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. And hopefully there will be. It can't just be a treadmill. Like, just run there and stay there. Like, hopefully it grows into something more.
Right.
You did have some Doriane Pin stats or info.
Yeah. So, okay. So one of the conversations that we kind of came across that was happening was, she's really successful in WEC series. I'll just read a couple. She's French karting champion in 2019. 2022, she won the European Touring Car Series Ferrari Challenge. After she won 9 of the 14 races of the season. In 2022, she, along with the Iron Dames, won the Gold Cup at the 24 Hours of Spa. She took second place in the Asian Formula 4 in 2023. And then she also was awarded the 2023 FIA WEC Revelation of the Year award, which I thought was pretty freaking dope. Like, she's a really accomplispt person.
Revelation is a hell of a word.
Revelation is like, wow.
What are you a revelation in?
Motorsports, you know? But so like a lot of the conversation is like, you know, obviously she's got success already and she's stepping into Formula One Academy. What is she getting from this? Because it's not going to be as challenging, or I won't say as challenging, but I think that's kind of the thing, is like, maybe there's a potential that like she'll maybe sweep, you know, like this might not be as big of a challenge for her because of what she's able to accomplish in like the endurance racing series. So, I mean, for me, I kind of have to look at it like, again, it's just an opportunity. She gets to be around people that she normally wouldn't be around. She's on the Mercedes team. So having access to their personnel, their resources, you know, being on just a bigger platform in general, having people like just know who you are does a lot for your career. So I don't know what her individual goal is to get out of this, but I hope that she's just using it as like a stepping stone. I mean, she's young, she's 20 years old. So she has a lot of career left for herself. So this is just a great opportunity to just make yourself seen, make yourself known.
There was a lot of conversation on like, I think I'm not going to say she has nothing but the least to prove out of everybody that's competing. And I read some articles that pointed to like, this is just Mercedes being really smart because she's already successful, and they're saying that she'll only find more success. So it's like now Mercedes can have a quote unquote hand in it, which is kind of sinister in a way. Like, hopefully Mercedes actually helps her like fun.
I think so.
And you gotta even something as silly, not that it makes it worth it completely, but even something as silly as like Mercedes F1 team tweeting about her being part of the team now. Like
Mhm.
even that's gonna grow your brand. Like that's a lot of exposure.
Absolutely. I
think,
mean, that's
right?
like I mean, really, like that's look at how all these drivers who have been announced so far, their platforms have grown. Like it's just basic marketing at this point. I mean, really,
Mhm.
like that's kind of what we're looking at. It's just like a big marketing experiment for these drivers who are talented. Like this is not, it's not a series to develop their talent. They already have it. This
They
is to give
have
them opportunities,
bars.
right? To just excel where they wouldn't normally have a chance to. So this is a marketing excursion. Like that's how I would look at it if I was involved in this. Like if I was a driver, like how can I make myself look the most marketable, profitable, like whatever,
I know
and
how
make
not
myself,
to.
yeah.
I know how not to. I know how not to. Oh, right. Wait, we said we were going to
Shall
talk.
we? Shall we mention what happened, or you want to skate by
Oh,
that?
I want this so bad. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's
All
fine.
right.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Sorry.
Later, we'll look into it later.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's fine.
but yeah. I don't know, the F1 Academy really like it interests me quite a lot. I'm curious like the kind of like behind the scenes mechanics of it all. Like how does it really work? What is really the long-term goals for
Mhm.
this? You know, what's in it for these drivers? Obviously, yes, big platform, whatever, but like really what's in it for them, you know?
Yeah.
How did
Is it a
they
job or a career?
right? Because like this makes F1 look great. Like this is PR gold for Formula One. It's like, yay, we are helping the women be in motorsport. Like, pat us on the back. But like, if that's the surface level, you know, I hope that there's like some depth to this because I don't want it to just be like everybody's excited for this. Women are finally getting a chance, and it's like, there's no real like plan
Mhm.
for what to do. So skeptical. That's my word of the day.
Red Bull and AlphaTauri. So Red Bull,
Yeah.
haven't announced. They did announce a while back. Red Bull did that they're going to sponsor 3 academy drivers.
Yeah.
But they haven't announced which 3. It's rumored that the Al-Kubaisi sisters are going to go into Red Bull AlphaTauri, and then the third one is going to be Emily de Hoos, with Hamda Al-Kubaisi being the Red Bull one, Amna Al-Kubaisi being the AlphaTauri or whatever one,
Nice.
and then Emily de House. I don't know the logistics of it.
Oh, okay.
But that's the rumor right
That's
now for
cool.
them. But it's
Yeah.
still interesting that no, it'd be dope. Like the sisters together, just like that'd be really dope. The younger sister is, for what it's worth, the younger sister is notoriously known, and that's Hamda Al-Kubaisi,
Yeah.
notoriously known to be quicker than the older sister. So that's why it would make sense that the quicker one in Hamda would be the Red Bull representative.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Today I learned,
Yeah.
Chris read out earlier, I didn't know that, or I think you did. Never mind. The F1 Academy driver, I think it was you. The F1 Academy drivers drive the same cars as F4 cars. I just didn't know that. Like I knew it was a similar one, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of to what you were saying and what we talked about earlier. It's like how not me, but how much does F1 respect success in the F1 Academy if they're driving a car that's an F4 car?
Right.
Like, it'd be interesting to see if they could get a better car. And if not, then I want to see them be able to go into F3 if they prove themselves in an F4 car.
Yeah. So speaking of Mercedes and team news, we have Toto Wolff signing a 3-year contract extension to remain team principal, which I read that and I was like, okay, I didn't realize that he would have to sign a contract. Let alone extend it. Like I just, yeah.
How do you think negotiations went when Toto Wolff asked for the 3-year agreement to Toto Wolff? How do you think that went?
Right. He was like, Toto? He's like, yes, Toto. Would you like to remain team principal? Yes, Toto. I think I would.
That would be great.
How much money would you like to make, Toto? Like, yeah, I'm like that. I don't know. Maybe it's just me not understanding fully how this works. But yeah, I was very fascinated by the fact that he signed an extension. But Also, an extension was signed by James Allison, and his is just called a long-term contract. So we don't have an exact number of years that he's signed on, but he will remain as technical director. And it just kind of got me thinking, like, obviously we haven't seen the W15 yet, but it has to bode well if you're extending the contract of the man who's responsible for helping develop it, right? Like,
it has
right?
to.
Like, it has
to.
Is this copium? I don't know. But like, I just am like, okay, James Allison's been with the team for a while anyway. So it's not like, he's some young up and comer. Like, he's definitely proven himself on the team already. So I think just having his knowledge, his expertise, his leadership will go far. But I'm reading into it. I'm like, fuck it. Like,
you're getting into the tea leaves. Like, let me see what this means.
Are we cooking?
But for real.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
So
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just want to read out a quote that Toto Wolff had on the Toto Wolff extension. Toto Wolff said that Toto Wolff has been a great member of this team for many years, and that Toto Wolff has been exemplary, and that if it wasn't for Toto Wolff, Lewis Hamilton wouldn't have won all those championships. So Toto Wolff said that Toto Wolff is an untouchable member of the team. So really powerful words there from Toto Wolff on Toto Wolff. Something he actually said is, I am staying at Mercedes to beat Red Bull with Hamilton. He told that to the UK's Telegraph.
Yeah.
Really nice to hear.
It's nice, yeah.
What do you think George Russell thinks when he...
Right.
What about me?
Girl, what about me? My chopped liver?
Can I not win a championship with? No, you can't. But like,
no.
I would have been like, I'm Toto. I'm like, I'm here for Lewis Hamilton to win his eighth.
I mean, he kind of has to. He keeps saying it, so it's like you kind of have to, back that up. Because you've said it multiple times. Yeah.
George Russell has stepchild syndrome.
George Russell at this point should just be like, I'm here to help Lewis Hamilton win his 8th champion. You know what I'm saying?
We would love him for it.
The reverse psychology of it all,
That's how you get accepted as the main driver of Mercedes X amount of years from now. Is by doing exactly that.
Exactly that.
But imagine. I did want to read Toto Wolff on James Allison.
Yeah.
Because these were. Put simply, he is the most impressive technical leader in our sport. His gladiator spirit, along with his knowledge, experience, and determination, make him second to none. Wolff said his influence and impact, however, goes so much further than that. Since joining in 2017, he has been a key ally and sparring partner for me personally. We can challenge each other openly and honestly.
That gives, like, when like you see on like Instagram and it's like a couple and they've been together for a long time, and it's usually the guy, and he'll be like, you've been with me through everything, all our ups and downs. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, just bullshitting, basically. Yeah. That's what Toto's giving. He's like, yeah, we fight a lot, but like, that's my dog kind of shit. Like,
that's my dog. Brothers fight. We're brothers, and brothers
like, you
fight.
did not need to like, we don't need to know that you guys were sparring behind the scenes. But I mean, I guess I also do like that because that everybody's not just there to be like a yes man, kiss ass.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I hope he means that for real. Because like,
if I'm James, I'm printing that out because I'm gonna be like, you said that you like fighting with me. So next time you come in here, like, just remember.
Damn. You would too.
I would. The Capricorn of it all. Yeah.
Exactly.
Toto is a Capricorn, which I think is also very funny.
Toto is also a Capricorn. Lewis is a Capricorn.
Doriane is a Capricorn. We just learned her birthday was January 6th. Yes. We're taking over. You know what I'm saying?
Just give us the keys, guys. Give us the keys. I was surprised by Toto re-signing for 3 years a little bit, just because I was so convinced that the FIA thing was happening sooner rather than later.
You are so convinced. I need you to put you need to just write like out a thing, like a statement, and print it out and put it in like a little time capsule and bury it. And then when it actually happens, you can dig it out.
You mean this? You mean this podcast? This is my time capsule. My podcast.
You're right. You would be like, I told y'all. I knew this was happening. You saw it. You saw
one day, something's gonna happen. I'll be like, your dumbass actually got it.
Yep.
Your dumbass actually saw that coming. I'm gonna pull up the podcast and I'll be like, yo, that's not deepfake or AI. That's all me being a dumbass and actually getting one right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, there's this gif of. Do you say GIF or GIF?
I say GIF.
Okay, I say the same. There's this GIF.
I think GIF is immature.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's a GIF of Nick Young, a Lakers basketball player, and he just shot a 3-pointer, and he turns his back and he's celebrating for 3. The ball completely misses while his back is turned. That's me all the time.
I feel like I'm gonna get one.
Yeah. I'm gonna get one. Speaking of getting one, AlphaTauri hired themselves a man by the name of Alan Permain, whomst we discussed when Otmar was let go from Alpine. Everybody was talking about Otmar, but then Alan Permain was let go as well.
You were like, what about LA?
I'm gonna call.
I remember that.
I remember it. Not the only reason, but the reason I have Permain stuck in my head is because we typically try to talk before the show about last names that we don't know how to pronounce, and
which are like
that's
most of them.
One. Yeah. Exactly, which is good for us. Yeah. Like, that's a good thing we do, even though we still get them wrong sometimes. And by we, I mean me. I remember practicing Permain a bunch of times. So he's gone, but now he's back. He's going to be with AlphaTauri. I'm going to call this a rumor only because I could not find what position he's going to have with AlphaTauri. He was previously the Alpine sporting director.
Nice.
Yeah.
Feels like a lot of employment news, you know?
That's all we got, baby. People cutting checks and jumping from one place to another.
So it looks like we also have some news about Aston. They have nabbed Andor. Oh my God, Hegedus. See,
I support you very much.
That's crazy. I love Andor. That's a great name. That's a great name. This is actually great. It's giving like mythology, like Greek mythology. You know.
Prince Hegedus? Prince Hegedus?
But
honestly, Andor is a great first name too.
Strong. You know what I'm saying?
That man is
That's a leadership. That's a leader.
That is a leader. Okay?
You can't just be an employee named Andor. That's crazy.
You cannot. You can't be like, oh, this is our intern Andor.
No,
there's no way.
Destined for something bigger. So he will be the senior project designer, and he's coming from Red Bull. He's been the product design engineer for over the last 5 years, with his responsibilities extending to planning, managing, and designing pit stop equipment and pit gear projects. Ooh, that's exciting.
So this is me reading that.
Yeah.
Something. He was related to Red Bull and pit stops.
Right.
So I read that and I'm like, great hire, boys. We did it.
See, why don't we get stuff like that at Mercedes? Like, why aren't we smashing up?
That was the second thing that I thought.
Yeah.
The first thought I thought was, if it's pit related and it's Red Bull, this is a magnificent hire. The second thing I thought was, or is it? Because I feel like Mercedes would have hired him. But obviously logistics and whatever. But like, my dumb ass, if this is pit related, how you hire anyone who has anything to do with Red Bull. Really, McLaren was the best pit stop last year, but I think Red Bull was the most consistent pit stop last year.
Right. Yeah.
Dang. Speaking of McLaren and Red Bull, Zach Brown doubled down on I say doubled down because we talked he mentioned something about this like maybe a month ago. But he doubled down on the situation with Red Bull and AlphaTauri. It's a quick quote. The thing I would like to see us as a sport focus on and where we sit on the regulation side is the A/B team co-ownership. A/B meaning Red Bull AlphaTauri. He said, I believe it's a serious issue for the fairness of the sport, for the fans. That's the best thing he said, because everything seems kind of like emotional, quote unquote, like not emotional, like he's being emotional, but like driven, like subjective. But at the end, like he ends with, that's why it's pretty much not allowed in any other form of major sport. And that, I think, is all you should need to know. Because, and we've even talked about this, like a basketball team having going up against each other, but it's the same owner of the basketball team. Like that just doesn't make sense. So it's like,
work. Yeah,
you should just get that sentence and realize, why, even if it's, imagine, even if everything is above board,
right?
Why bring it? Why bring that to yourself? You've got other people wanting to own teams. Like, you've got people in line. Why bring yourself that needless? We know everything isn't above board, but if it was, like, who cares? Yeah. Do you want to oh, wait. Speaking of, I put obviously a Horner quote.
Haven't heard from him in a while.
We'd never do. Wow. They take benefit, they meaning other teams, they take benefits of the parts that are allowed to be transferred, like the gearbox and the suspension and so on, in the same way that Williams and Aston Martin have done so with Mercedes or has with Ferrari, meaning that we trade the same parts that y'all been trading with other teams. And I'm sure that's the only thing they're trading.
Right.
I'm sure that's the only thing they're trading.
Right.
Not secrets, not designs, not conversations. Only thing they're trading is the same thing that y'all are, for sure.
Yeah.
Scout's honor, for sure.
That's the issue with this is, like, Horner or people who try to defend this always take it back to, like, well, what about the teams that get parts from, like, da 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 da? And it's like, they're only getting parts, right? Like, AlphaTauri and Red Bull have a relationship in addition to getting the parts. They are able to help each other with development in a roundabout way. No matter how much they want to say that, oh, it's completely separate. Like, you can't separate. Like, again, I need to see how this actually is compartmentalized to actually make that a valid statement. Because when AlphaTauri is getting stuff, able to update their car however many times in one season on a cost cap, developing a part of the car that helps them with something that Red Bull needs, like, was it the low speed corners, right? Like, they were developing the car to be better in low speed corners. Red Bull, the RB19, of all the things it could not do, that was its weakness. And so I guess you mean to tell me that that none of that data will make its way to the RB20. Like, it's stuff like that. Like, you can't really make that argument of, like, oh, everything's fine, nothing to see here, when we see all of the time.
AlphaTauri is literally grabbing pieces from the RB19 for this year. Like,
and it's crazy. And then outside of the car parts, then you have stuff on track, which we can point to numerous occasions of the drivers just jumping out of the way for Max.
The kill switch on the
kill switch. We have, team Max was impeding Yuki during practice, which normally results in a penalty, except for they didn't send anybody to the steward's office to represent them.
Indoors.
So do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's like, we can be like, yeah, they get parts all they want, but it still doesn't change the fact that there's a lot more going on between you and AlphaTauri that needs to be investigated and critiqued. You can't tell me you
can't tell me you don't have, like, to be like, you can't tell me that, like, you look at AlphaTauri and you're like, there's no Red Bull DNA in that,
right?
Like, you just can't say that.
It's impossible.
And it makes you as a sport less serious.
And it makes Christian Horner less serious. Because I'm like, bro, how are you trying to lie this horribly?
How are you going to make Christian Horner less serious, though?
Like, at least lie better. Like, come on, man.
He doesn't have to.
Yeah, that's true.
Imagine you start lying a little bit, and then you start lying a little bit more, and you start getting, like, in your head, you're like, I can't keep track of the lies, but then you realize, wait, I can say whatever I want and it's fine. And then you're just like, okay, I'm going to say whatever. What do we have next?
We have car launches. We're getting close to the season starting. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, we have a couple of announcements that have just been, like, very I don't know, what would you call, like, stunts? You know what I'm saying? I just feel like everybody's kind of bored. McLaren, that stood out to me. Yeah, McLaren stood out to me because they wiped their entire IG, changed their branding. This was to launch their livery.
You don't know about this. You don't know about this because you specifically, Tasha.
Okay.
But like because you have, you don't know about this. It's not regret. You haven't done this, but it gives a lot of pictures with your ex on social media. And you gotta be like, God damn, and that looks so good in that picture. I gotta delete it. Fuck. And then you start deleting all those ex pictures.
Right.
The McLaren thing.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I don't know. Specific. I see that move very corny. The McLaren like deleting all of Instagram. Like what? Your history's still your history. Like why would you?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, also too because the livery was black and orange, that black papaya color. So it's like they're putting on their black Air Force One. Like they're trying to reinforce this idea that like, you know, we're a new team. You know, we're going to come really strong this season, which I don't doubt. I hope it works out for them because, you know, this is bold claims that they're making via social. And that's always the most embarrassing thing, right? Is like you base your whole social strategy around like this success that you hope comes. So I hope it's not another like W14 enters the chat situation for them because it's a little embarrassing when
you have to do it though.
Yeah, I guess, but so? To this level.
No,
livery reveal? I don't know.
Okay, so I'm going to interrupt the whole thing you were saying. And then, do you think the W14 enters the shot was unnecessary? And try to not hindsight, obviously 2020. But like, do you think that was extra?
Yes, I do. Because without knowing what the car was capable of, I just feel like you just added to the discourse. I mean, like, yes, be excited for your team. Like, you know, that's the point of social media. Yeah, create that hype. But it's like, it's like the social teams have a totally separate, like, I don't know, like the social teams and the actual like technical side are very like disjointed and disconnected, you know? So it's like Mercedes is tweeting like they're one of us on the timeline, like excited, hyping, whatever. But then like the season doesn't play out like that. So that's all I'm saying. It's just like there's case studies for you know, not going too big before the season's like, let's just wait and see and make sure that things are copacetic before we start wiping the IG. You know what I'm saying?
You could hype your livery.
Yeah.
You could hype your livery before you see it perform. You could hype your race suits. Yeah. Maybe hype helmets. Things that you know will perform during races.
Right.
Definitely have those up. Maybe hype your drivers. Who knows?
Absolutely.
But cars specifically should be maybe after that Bahrain preseason.
Right.
Maybe.
Like let's wait till the testing ends before we start making. Yeah. So, anyway,
so just
but the video was nice that they made.
I think so too.
Yeah, that's really nice.
So real quick, Sauber is going to be February 5th. Williams is also going to be February 5th. Alpine February 7th. Aston Martin February 12th. Ferrari 13th. Mercedes 14th. So I will have a date on Valentine's Day. I won't be by myself.
You and James Allison, like
just him and I. James, let's talk. Yeah, I got questions. McLaren is also going to do it on Valentine's Day, and Red Bull on the 15th of February. Haas and AlphaTauri are still TBD on when they will announce. What I want to know, Tasha, from the people that are still listening and still with us, is what are we going to call AlphaTauri and Sauber kick steak? Because we just can't do this. I can't do this. I just hit myself with a microphone. I'm a professional. If it turns out to be Visa CashApp RB, is that not RB like Red Bull, just RB?
Just
okay,
initial,
just RB. Yeah. Not like Red Bull, but we're not Red Bull. What do you mean RB like Red Bull?
Running back?
Nothing. Yes, but not Red Bull. I'm not gonna call it that. I'm okay calling it AlphaTauri just because, or maybe Toro Rosso, and I do the very Hispanic thing. I go like Toro Rosso.
Roll those R's, absolutely. That's just way more fun.
Visa CashApp,
Visa CashApp. Be serious. Be serious. Visa CashApp.
Visa Cash App. Like, what
girl,
are you doing?
No, like, come up with a real name, like, for real. Like, stop playing games. Like, no, not doing that. The steak F1 thing. What is, like, honestly though, it feels like we are in a season of like identity crisis. You know what I mean? Like the steak F1, Visa Cash App gift card, whatever the fuck, racing, whatever. You have McLaren and their whatever there doing. Like, is everybody okay? Is everybody okay?
We're gonna break it down. Mercedes identity crisis is we were the best and now we're struggling to come back. Are we gonna do it?
Very existential, yes.
I have the list right here. Ferrari, they've been having an identity crisis. Like, I don't have to describe that one. McLaren, you just said it. Alpine, hella identity crisis. Like they don't even. I think half their team got fired last year,
and everybody else that's left hates it. So
true.
We'll see how long they last. Yeah.
Sauber, kick, steak. It speaks for itself. Williams is having a good identity crisis because they're like, do we suck or are we actually legit now? Red Bull identity crisis is coming from half the garage in Checo. Tasha, you just named the season. This is the identity crisis season.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like nothing good is going to come from like a bunch of grown men having like identity crisis at the same time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, not enough counselors in the world, not enough therapists in the world. So
not enough people to convince these men to go to therapy.
Right. That's what we need. We need like a Visa BetterHelp F1 racing team. Like let's get therapy. Let's get therapy on board. Yeah.
That's a ridiculous name. Oh, really? Because Visa CashApp RB. Yeah, but mine is. But my mental health one is ridiculous. Okay. Okay, calm down.
Like, let's bring in the wellness brands now because we need to get
I like that.
The mental health better. Yeah.
Calm, BetterHelp, team name.
Absolutely.
I like that one. That one.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching and listening. If you're still with us, make sure that if you're on YouTube, you like, comment, subscribe. I'm always there in the comments engaging with some of you. Remember to, if you're mental lapse. Remember if you're on Apple or Spotify, make sure to leave those 5-star reviews. And we have a Patreon for ad-free content and other stuff. Thank you so much for joining us as always. I've been Mario. You can find me at Mario_APM. And more importantly, Tasha, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Tasha on Twitter and Threads. I have also having a memory brain lapse. So
thank you.
Yeah, whatever it says on the screen. Whatever it says on the screen. Your
solidarity is amazing. Yeah. Like this is God, best.
I can't let you be the only one, you know.
Thank you so much.
One of us flops, we flop together, you know?
You can, if anybody wants to see the link of where will.i.am said all those things about Tasha, let me know. I'll definitely send that because that definitely happened. Y'all stay safe. Take care. Tasha, anything else? Take us away when you want to.
Yeah, thanks for being here, guys. We really appreciate you. And remember, no matter what happens in life, keep it on the black stuff.
Bye.
Look, mate, if you've got this far, clearly you like what we do. So here's a link to subscribe to the Quickstop F1 family. Give that a click. And here's another link to some more cool on our channel. Sorry, cool stuff. And remember, no matter what happens, keep it on the black stuff. Click the stuff. Click the links. Click the links. Click the links. There. They're there.